So, welcome to my rambling about Geneijin pressure video. This is inspired by a conversation that I had with Bisu while I was in Denver at a tournament. And it also is something that I've had a couple players asking me for. So before we get started, I just want to showcase what it looks like when you are doing things correctly to your opponent. So as you can see there, I did my entire Geneijin bar doing stand, medium punch, crouch, light kick, and my opponent was not able to do anything. They were blocking the entire time. Now, this is important to note because I have the computer set up to hold down, back, and mash jab. So what does this mean? This means that variation in pressure, or timing in your pressure, is very important. Because if you do not, there is a very small chance you will not be able to catch your opponent like so. So your goals inside of Geneijin and inside of your pressure is to force your opponent to respect Zenpo tension and then prey on this by stopping them from trying to down jab, stopping them from trying to throw, and trying to jump out in situations where they think that you're going to Zenpo tension. Now the most important part to understand is that Zenpo tension, no matter when you do it inside of your pressure, whether it's at the first 10%, the first single blocked move, if you just go 1, 2, 3 activate Zenpo, they all do literally almost the exact same damage. So when you consider that, Zenpo tension is a very powerful tool because it allows you to get, around 30%, 20 to 30% damage on your opponent and still maintain about 30 to 50% meter depending on how far into your Geneijin you actually get it. So if your opponent blocks 14 hits or whatever, and then you go for Zenpo, medium punch, shoulder, medium kick, up kicks, medium punch, shoulder, crouch, medium punch, up kicks, which works on a vast majority of the cast, then that's going to be the maximum meter that you can get, which is close to 50%. So let's push him to the corner and showcase a couple other things. So if you are not familiar with the concept of recovery canceling, then I have an entire other video on it, but the best way to showcase this is if I let this completely go and I Zenpo, I can't do it. But if I cancel it with a forward, I am right in range for a Zenpo tension. So you're canceling your move recovery on hit or on block with a walk animation, either back or forward. And this is important because during your Geneijin pressure, certain moves require either forward or back inputs during their recovery in order to maintain advantageous positioning and to give you the ability to press the buttons you need in order to keep your opponent in block stun the entire time. So the moves that are used in Geneijin: forward medium kick, close stand medium kick, crouch light kick, crouch medium kick, stand medium punch from far, stand medium punch from close, close standing heavy punch, and then far standing heavy punch. There are fringe cases where standing light punch is used, mostly as a way to get proximity guard, and also against some of the cast, you can use it as a way to whiff over their crouching body, such as Twins or Chun-Li, so that you can get so that you can get a Zenpo tension. So it's important to note that some moves, even in Geneijin, are not chain cancelable. So if I mash crouching light kick, while it will come out, in order to get it at the correct timing, it's normally single tap, double tap. Now, the importance of this is because you can't just, you know, hit the button twice and have it come out, because it doesn't really technically cancel into itself. It does, but it doesn't. This is where the whole controversy over the crouching light kick, dash punch thing comes in, where some people say it's a chain and some people say it's a link. So technically it's both, but it's neither here nor there. But this is important inside of Geneijin because you are technically linking them together, you're not chaining them together, even though you might think you are. So you basically have to do the double lights with a single tap, double tap, or a single tap, wait, single tap. Now, because of the weight, it's important. So, if you start with crouching light kick, it doesn't instant cancel into crouching medium kick. You actually have to slightly delay. Because if I press the medium kick instantly, it doesn't come out. See? But if I do it the opposite way, doing medium kick to light kick, a reverse beat, it does work that way. Because crouching medium kick is cancelable into a bunch of things. So if you're doing reverse beat, it comes out if I just do medium light, medium light, medium light, like it's a plink. But if I do it as light medium, the medium doesn't come out. So this is the most important part of understanding crouching light kick, because crouching light kick is so positive, it's plus 13 on block, that you need to know what you can and cannot press and when you can press it, or when you can or cannot press it. So you can do like short stand heavy punch, or you can do like short crouch medium kick, or you can do like short far stand medium punch. There's a lot of different options. Now, forward medium kick is another important thing to understand. That while it's good for getting damage and forcing your opponent to respect that you are going to try to hit them with overheads, or get a little damage from someone who is choosing to just block and I'll let you throw them, it's a decent way to get some damage on them. But it's also negative on hit. So this sets up a rock, paper, scissors situation against some of the characters in the game, such as Ken or Dudley, where they'll be able to crouching medium punch immediately after your forward medium kick on hit or block, and then if you press anything, even in Geneijin, the crouching medium punch will beat you. This means you have to vary your timing. It's also something that exists because you can do forward medium kick and then option parry before you go into your pressure, which is something that a lot of Yuns do. So the most important part of understanding how Geneijin pressure works is the whole recovery canceling thing. Because if you recovery cancel, you stay close. So the first couple I did forward down light kick, and then for the last couple I did forward down forward light kick. The forward down forward light kick is less likely to get you the proper recovery cancel because you're sharing the down forward with the forward motion, or with the forward button already. So you're just letting go of the down instead of actually canceling it with your walk. So this is important because, as you could see at the end of the first couple that I did, I was right next to him. Right? But if I just do down forward light kick, or down forward forward, or down forward, then I get pushed away, like I am now, where I'm close to under the timer. And this is important because if you want to be close enough to your opponent for Zenpo tension, you need to be recovery canceling. Otherwise, you're going to be too far away. Same thing goes for standing medium punch, crouching light kick. If you do it correctly, you will always get close to any medium punch. Far standing medium punch into crouch light kick is technically an infinite block string if done correctly, but it is much harder to maintain. So when you are doing your Geneijin pressure, the goal is to be able to stay close enough for Zenpo tension. You also have to understand that Zenpo tension needs to be slightly delayed, because if you do not, then your opponent will basically just have your throw go through them because they're still in block stun. So standing medium punch also can be, you know, recovery canceled with forward, which is important, because just only going for Zenpo off of one single button, which would be crouching light kick, is a way to get you red. That's another reason why some people would do a standing light punch to check them, is because while it doesn't hit them, if they try to jump forward or whatever, they'll get tagged with the standing light punch. This is something that Nika KO does, it's something that KO does, Ochibi, and a couple other yuns. It's not something that you see very often from Yakun or Ushi or Sho, but they still do have it in their repertoire. Something you'll see them do, which you won't really see the others do, is Kara crouching heavy kick inside of, you know, walking across the screen. And the reason for this is because it connects on your opponent when you're 40% of the screen away from them. Sometimes even further. This is like 52%, right? And everything that happens in Geneijin is a hard knockdown. So if I just do this shoulder here and they knock down, it's set to quick rise. So as you can see, it did not quick rise. So everything inside of Geneijin that forces a knockdown afterward, or that your opponent gets knocked out of your juggle afterward, even if it's a mess up, counts as a hard knockdown. Excuse me one moment, I have to grab a drink. So, understanding that you can get knockdowns by doing certain things while you're approaching your opponent is important as well. But that's something that they don't really do all that much inside of their pressure, but it is something that against certain characters they will use as a way to delay their buttons, like against Chun-Li or something, to try to force them to do down jab, and then catch the recovery of the down jab with a sweep, and then they get a guaranteed in. But the most common way to catch your opponent pressing buttons or trying to throw is with standing medium kick. Now, this close standing medium kick is important because even if it whiffs, you can use it as a means of getting a Zenpo tension or going right back into your pressure. It's very hard to react to from your opponent, and if they press something, they get hit. Certain characters are large enough that you can do things like this, where it will hit. As you can see, both hits do connect. So you can use it inside of your Geneijin pressure as well. It's not commonly used, but it is an important tool to understand how to use. The other thing to understand is that when people are doing stuff like Daipon loop, the reason for this is because neutral jump, heavy punch, dive kick, or heavy kick, dive kick, sorry, if done correctly, will connect to the opponent's knees just like that. And it connects so far down that it's a safe jump. So even if they parry the dive kick, you're still able to do crouching light kick, so if they try to throw you or punish at all, they get hit. So that's why they're doing it. But that's neither here nor there. Doing Daipon loop is important to understand how you get back in. Because the only way to get back in is forward medium kick, shoulder, which also pushes you far away. So does forward medium kick technically. Or you can carry cancel your crouching medium kick. Now, it's very hard to maintain pressure after that, after Daipon loop. So it's mostly used as a way to get your opponent to try to make a decision on how to get out. So you can either catch them with forward medium kick when they try to jump, or you can cancel it with forward medium punch, Kara crouching medium kick, so that it will hit them out of their jump attempt. Oops. Just like that. Or you actually have to recovery cancel the very last portion of the standing heavy punch in order to get it to connect. But then, depending on how many Daipon loops you do, if you take a micro step first and then you go for crouching light kick, it allows you to maintain Kara crouching light kick. It allows you to maintain pressure. It also allows you to start to move yourself closer. As long as you're doing your recovery canceling of your crouching light kick well enough, you will inch half a step closer for every one. So if you start with Daipon loop, as you can see there, I eventually got close enough for the Zenpo. And that's where you can start to mix things up. Where you can go boom, 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 delay standing medium kick to catch them out of their throw attempt or their jump attempt to get out of your Zenpo. Because it is a late Zenpo from Yun. And that's usually when Yuns tend to do their Zenpo tension. So, understanding that recovery canceling can be done pretty much off of any normal is important. It's also why far standing medium punch is important, because you can back cancel it and get Kara crouching light kick afterward. So you can back recovery cancel and then Kara crouching light kick. And it's difficult to do consistently because it's basically back medium punch and then the second medium punch has to whiff. So it's back forward medium punch down light kick. But the recovery cancel has to be to the point where you can still hit forward and cancel immediately out of your standing medium punch to get your crouching light kick. So once you're in range for any crouching light kick, you're in range for the crouching light kick, far stand medium punch, recovery cancels. But if you don't do those correctly, you're never going to get in. And it's mostly just a tool to catch your opponent trying to do things. So, understanding that you can go from far stand to crouching medium kick as well is also important, because it's a little bit easier to confirm. Going from far stand medium punch to crouching light kick, or sorry, crouching medium kick to stand heavy punch is a way that some people will opt to confirm as well. But as you can see here, they're an infinite block stun off of a far standing medium punch. So you'll see certain yuns like Yakun, Sho, Yuki Spencer, they like this, the crouching medium kick into crouching light kick. But it's very important that you hit down when you're doing this, because if you don't, you'll get the forward medium kick if the game doesn't recognize the forward into down forward immediately. So it's a little bit difficult to do, but it's a little bit easier to do the crouching light kick, crouching medium kick, as long as you vary the timing, or you space out the timing very slightly. Because this is an immediate cancel, like I was saying before, which is why it's so easy to catch your opponent, because they don't really think that you're going to be immediately canceling after a crouching medium kick. They think that you're going to have to walk forward. Which is why also crouching medium kick into far standing medium punch is something that players like Ushi and Sho use a lot. They'll do crouching medium kick, standing medium punch, Kara crouching light kick. Just like that. But it's all recovery canceled and very quick. Oops. Just like that. And that's how they stay close off of pretty much anything, is the being able to abuse the Kara crouching light kick and still keep them in pressure. And also, as you can see, it's still even off of the far stand medium kick, or medium punch, will allow you to get 3 hits off of different spacings. So while you may not be able to get it off of the furthest spacing, you'll still be able to get it. So you have to be about here in order for it to work. The only thing is that standing medium kick, or crouching medium kick, cannot cancel into itself, into standing medium kick, sorry, really easily. It has to be a delay cancel. So you basically have to finish the animation. So in order to get around this, you can do crouching medium punch. Or you can do crouching light punch, crouching light kick, or standing light kick. Now, a lot of people will go for like crouching medium kick forward fierce, right? Well, how do you get in after that? You can either walk palm, and it'll hit their buttons if they try to press them, or if they try to jump. And it also, the walk whatever, will give you the ability to stay close. So if you're doing this, you have to hold forward during the ending animation. Because if you don't, you get pushed all the way back to the middle of the timer. And if you do, oops, you'll end up a little bit closer. Close enough where you can take like a micro step and a half and Zenpo tension. So it's down forward, fierce, tap forward. So the other things that you can do off of this is Kara crouching light kick. But like I was saying before, you actually have to back recovery cancel the forward heavy punch needs to come out and then you need to slight delay back medium punch. Because if you don't, then the Kara crouching light kick does not work. So if you let it completely finish, it's a little bit easier to get your Kara crouching light kick. So if you want to go for a Kara crouching light kick, it's easier to let your thing finish. But if you cancel with this, crouch medium kick, forward fierce into stand light kick off of the forward cancel, then you can continue pressure that way. Just like that. So understanding the different things that you can do is important, because once your opponent understands that after this they can be hit with another crouching medium kick, that they're not really safe, right, is important as well. Because you can cancel that into standing light kick as well. God damn it. As long as you're doing your canceling correctly. You actually have to forward cancel the crouching medium kick as well. Which is difficult. But it is a way to maintain pressure that way. This is also why you'll see forward medium kick off of this, because forward medium kick puts you in standing light kick pressure range in most situations. So if you maintain pressure off of forward medium kick, you know, you have crouching medium kick, stand medium punch. So oops. Right. You'll have to Kara cancel with crouching medium kick to maintain pressure though. Right? But you can also whiff as well. So if you let the entire animation finish for the crouching medium kick off of the forward fierce, or a forward medium kick, as opposed to canceling the last couple frames into a standing medium punch, then you can Kara cancel the crouching light kick. So you can also do stuff like this against certain characters, where it's Kara universal overhead. That would have connected if he was not set to all block. Where you can back cancel the crouching medium kick, and you'll get Kara universal overhead. Very good against Chun-Li and Makoto. Not as good against Ryu due to the hitbox, but you know, it's just tools that you can create. So that's another thing, is that understanding when and how you can force your opponent to get hit by universal overhead, but that's a completely different video. Just understand that if you are going for pressure and you are able to hit your opponent, certain opponents can punish on block universal overhead. So if you're not 100% sure that you're getting the correct spacing for the universal overhead crouching light kick forward fierce, then I highly suggest understanding that you can, or not understanding, but going for setups that will allow you to whiff your universal overhead instead. So that you can just go for shoulder, or not shoulder, but Zenpo. So now, understanding that, like, the recovery canceling is so integral in making Yun's pressure safe. The important thing to understand is that you have to vary your timings and make things slightly unsafe in order to catch your opponent off guard. Because if you don't, then your opponent's just going to see, okay, they're in my face, and then eventually you're going to get thrown, or whatever, when you go for a Zenpo. Because although Zenpo, if you are getting frame perfect recovery cancels in your Geneijin pressure, can grab crouching light punches or crouching light kicks or whatever, it's still very difficult and it's inconsistent. So you have to vary things like I showed earlier, where you go for like, you actually like take a step back or you take a step forward before you press your button to give your opponent the ability to press a button or make a jump or whatever, is important as well. Because when your opponent is defending against you, let's say they want to throw you, right? They can do down, back, back, throw, down, back, back, throw, down, back, back, throw. Just like this. And it will keep them in block stun if your Geneijin is properly done. And if it is not done properly and you leave a space, then they'll throw. And this is something that a lot of players, including Nuki, do. So at a high level, this is something that a lot of players will opt for, which you can take advantage of by changing the timing at which you are doing things. So the easiest way to showcase this is to do crouching light punch stuff with Ryu here, I guess. Right? Varying your timing is important. Now, also understanding that when the different strings have different ways that you need to confirm. So the way that you confirm off of crouching light, medium crouching light is with stand heavy. The way that you confirm off of crouching light kick is just whatever the hell you want. But if you know that you're going to be close enough for close stand medium punch, you have to do crouching medium kick. Because this combos. Whereas this also combos far stand medium kick, medium punch into crouching medium kick. But you cannot do close standing medium punch into forward fierce or close standing medium punch into shoulder consistently. So you have to change what you're doing in order to confirm properly. So the variations matter a lot, because if you get your block strings correct, as you can see, I hit my opponent. This is also why you'll see crouching medium punch, medium into forward fierce, is because if you change the variation in the timing, even though they are plus, or even though you are really plus, after the forward heavy punch, and you can technically go for a crouching medium kick afterward, your goal is to try to change your timing so that your opponent is going to get hit. So just going purely for this is going to end up with your opponent eventually being to the point where they're going to get hit if they're mashing buttons. So also off of crouching light kick, you can do the crouching medium kick confirm. into forward fierce. Just like that. So your routes, I guess you'll call them, right, are crouching light kick, far stand medium kick, medium punch into whatever, or just, if you know you're far enough away where close stand heavy punch will not come out, then you can just do whatever. But you can confirm off of crouch light kick, crouch light kick, crouch light kick, crouch light kick, just like you saw there, where you can just go forward fierce off the crouching light kick. Now, as you can see there, I did one crouching light kick and then did Zenpo. You could see the startup of his crouching light punch begin, and I threw him out of it. This is because I started my Zenpo at a point where I knew he would be coming out of block stun and would be able to press something. Now, whether he pressed something or not, the Zenpo would have worked. But because of the timing of the Zenpo off of the recovery cancel, you can grab your opponent's startup of their button. And this works against every character, like I said before, including Chun-Li. I have more information about that on my Twitter. So, the most important things to understand is that when you get far away, that you're able to get back in. So this is why you'll see a lot of standing light kick, because this is also very plus. Let me bring up the frame data page and tell us what it actually is, because I don't remember off the top of my head. So, Geneijin normals. Standing short is +9. Standing forward is +15. Crouch roundhouse even is +7. Crouching strong is +12. Crouching light kick is +13. Crouching forward is +7. Far stand strong is +14. Far fierce is +15. And then just close stand fierce is +18. Close strong is +4. So you're using +4 into a move that in crouch short that is 2 frames, or 3 frames technically. And then you use the +13 in order to get your move that starts up in 4 frames and is +4. That's the basic math behind this. Right? So, ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. Like that's your basic pressure. And then changing it up depending on what you want to do. Different variations is all that you need to worry about. Oops. Now, crouching medium into heavy, or into roundhouse, is a little bit more difficult. Because it's not an instant cancel. It's a slight delayed cancel. Which is very difficult off of a, crouching light kick, crouching medium kick setup. Which is why you'll see a lot more people go for forward fierce off of this. But it requires timing the end of your crouching medium kick with standing fierce as opposed to a cancel. It's almost like a link. So the other thing off of this is that far stand light kick is +9, right? So you can do Daipon loop, because Daipon loop is +15. You can get that full step forward, basically, and then you can go stand light kick, crouch light kick. something like that. There's plenty of setups to understand where you can put universal overhead in your stuff as well. And that's how you can start to open up your opponent as well if they're not able to react to that, and they're only looking for the Zenpo stuff. Which is also why this works so well in some cases, because a lot of players don't want to contest Geneijin. But if your pressure is not on point, someone like Ken can do like crouch medium punch into EX fireball and will eat up 60% of your meter because of the knockdown. So you have to be very careful as to what pressure strings you do against what characters. And going into that's a little more difficult, so I'm honestly not going to bother in this video. But the different moves that you're doing for pressure matter a lot more, like I said, for different characters. So let's just showcase an example against Chun-Li where we're using the stand light punch really close in order to get Zenpo tension. So this is an example. Oops. And I'm fucking up my Carapalms because I'm sitting weird. But yeah, so like, if you wait for the animation to finish, you whiff over her, and then you can go for whatever you want, right? Or you can just, you know, maintain pressure and go for Zenpo and E-render. What the fuck is up with my execution right now? Ugh. Today is not my day. There we go. So you can do the same thing to just keep them respecting you and not jumping out. Because it will hit them if they try to jump out. That's also a way that you can keep Chun-Li locked down during your crouching light kick stuff, because stand jab is 2 frames and the recovery is 2 frames, so it's 4 of the plus 13 that you are off of a crouching light kick. But it's also difficult to do because, you know, you have to go back to neutral, and then you have to cancel your crouching light kick with forward, so it's like crouching light kick, forward light punch, crouching light kick, forward light punch, crouching light kick, forward light punch. But, yeah. So it's not easy to do consistently. So that's why, you know, you'll see setups instead. So that's just one example. And then, you know, you have your different universal overhead setups. You know that it would have comboed if they block high at a very late timing. Just like that. Oops. Or like that. So understanding how to add that into your pressure is, you know, obviously a way that you can continue with different sorts of choices. But also understanding dive kick spacing is important off of things too. Because like off of crouching short, crouching forward into short, if you do jump forward, medium kick, dive kick, you'll hit for combo. If you do neutral jump, heavy kick, dive kick, you'll hit for combo. Same thing with super jump, heavy kick. And you'll whiff in front of your opponent with medium punch, or medium kick, dive kick. So that's another thing is like, if you understand that you can whiff in front of your opponent, you can go for, you know, Zenpo setups and all that sort of thing. But there's also, you know, jump forward target combo depending on your spacing. It's usually done after like Daipon loop or something. But yeah. That's pretty much all that there really is to be known about Geneijin pressure. It's mostly about understanding when you can maintain your pressure off of far stand pokes to make the Kara crouching light kick or Kara crouching medium kick continue your strings, or where your moves are plus enough where you can take a micro step and then continue with stand light kick, and then keep them in block stun to keep your pressure and go for, you know, stand light kick or standing medium punch, stand light kick, crouch light kick, whatever it is that you feel like you need to do. And the goal is always to get back to the point where all you need is a micro step in order to get your Zenpo. You don't want to have to take a whole step to, you know, do whatever it is that you're doing. You don't want to have to do this. But sometimes having to take, you know, multiple steps is not a terrible thing, because you can also incorporate walk up down parry. Right? So there's plenty of ways that you can vary things, and timing is the most important one. So like I said before, you know, going delay, or sorry, recovery cancel, delay, stand medium kick is a great way to do things. And also your close stand medium kick is going to keep you at +7, so you can still go into crouching light kick pressure off of it. And that's important. Also, depending on when you do it, it'll whiff completely, and you can maintain pressure by doing, you know, crouching light kick, stand light kick, crouch medium kick, etc. And it mostly only whiffs against crouchers unless you're right in their face. So if you're doing your normal pressure, it'll hit. But if you're doing your normal pressure and you do it after like no recovery cancel, like I did there, you'll get the close stand medium kick, but you'll be far enough away that it'll whiff. And that's also another way to get your opponent to try to want to do things, is by whiffing things that, you know, your opponent knows they could have made a decision to get out or something, or they felt like it was possible. But, you know, if you do this, your opponent's going to get hit if they try to jump, throw, you know, press a button, whatever. But like I said, you know, the most important part is just making sure that you can threaten with Zenpo. Because if you can't threaten with Zenpo, you know, you're not going to get whatever the hell that was for combo damage. This is OE, so it doesn't matter. But I got like 35% meter. So, you know, if she blocks 1, 2, 3 shoulder twice, and then just blocks a crouching medium kick, that's DED. Now, obviously, you don't want to be going for 1, 2, 3 shoulder and stuff consistently, but that's just an example. You're very close as far as meter goes. So, yeah, hopefully this is enough information, and if you have any questions, just post them in the comment section and I will answer. Either with a text response or a streamable response of a video showcasing whatever it is you're asking.